Hello everyone, Hachadino over here, and as you always know, you can like my videos, subscribe in any of the cats that is on the sites, and also if you are interested, you can check out the sheet. Remember that it's now available and has all the cool information, and also become a member if you are interested. Now let's begin without further ado. We are going to talk about Deathstalker and the changes that it makes in the War Within. This is early information, of course, things can change, but it's not likely that they do anything but fix the box and make it better. Right now, Deathstalker with Dust or Dark Brew is the highest seeming single target build that Sub has. I'm not going to go into the full rotation things because I want to make a video dedicated to that. But let me tell you, there is not many things that change if you have played Season 3 or Season 4 sub. Basically, the only thing that changes kind of in our talent points is that instead of 1 point on finality, we get Rotten. This basically also just gives us 2 shadow strikes that do critical strike damage. A little bit increased. Nothing changes. We do lose like some overall power when they change the extra banish charge to the class tree, and even then, invigorating shadow dust is strong enough so that we take these 3 dead points. Now, as you also remember, cold blood is still used with secret technique, and then our hero talents do not change much apart from 2 things. One of these is less important than the other, and let's say 3 if you actually do Mythic Plus. But right now, Deathstalker is quite behind Trickster. I'm going to expand on that a little bit more later. But just now, of course, be informed that I'm going to post the Dust build in the description. As always, the import. I will also post the Dark Brew one, but that one is a little bit weaker, as you might expect. And it's also, let's say, more rigid. There is also one thing that you might want to be aware. Right now, the transmitter, the trinket from the raid, it's quite strong, and this is of course helping a lot with invigorating shadow dust because right now, after the changes and thing, we don't do the weird thing about using flagellation and then vanishing and using blades. That is no more. Now you use your cooldowns every 1 minute and 30 seconds. I told about this in another video, but I'm going to clarify this again. Dust is not as hard as it was before in Shadowlands. Now the import that I'm going to do is going to have just different talent. Follow the blood is just generally more damage in multi-target situations. If there are 3 targets available, it will do a little bit more damage. I do have momentum of despair because clear the witnesses is a buff that you actually want to use outside of dance and outside of your symbols of death. That way you never consume the rotten with the shuriken storm by mistake or something like that. But sometimes in single target you just use Darkest Night and get more than one, and that 15% extra critical strike chance and critical strike damage is a little bit more single target DPS, but it's almost not noticeable. Of course, is there more than 3 targets that they have rupture, this one will be just straight up better. Now let's go into the talents really fast. I have already done several videos about this, but if you are new to the rogue, let's say sub rogue, and to Deathstalker in general, we have here your mark that you do. Then you do more attack damage to it. You also get some pseudo execute that is super undertuned and it does like 0.3% of your damage. This is decent. Corrupting the blood, it's just extra damage on your rupture. Try not to have rupture go down because then you lose the stacks. Singular focus does nothing on single target, but does some funnel, let's say, but sadly, because it does not work with secret technique, it's quite also not that important for sub. Lingering darkness, after 5 buffs, it's good. It's just more damage, more a lot of the time. These are some things that you don't care that much. Of course, in a raid environment, you get some extra cooldown reduction sometimes, and the Shout of Concealment extra duration will not be used that much because you play Trickster usually in dungeons. And this is also a choice. 2 extra seconds on Cloak can make you do a lot of cool things, but you also get an evasion that reduces magical damage. Never bad. And Cloak now, if there is no magical things to ignore, you get also some physical reduction. Then your capstone, you use full combo points and get a stronger eviscerate. Of course, it also renews your Deathstalker's mark and makes it so you don't run out on single target. Now, with that behind and everything, what does Deathstalker do better than Trickster? Right now, only single target. When 2 targets or more come into play, Nimble Flurry, it's a really strong talent and is not annoying or anything. You just do damage and it makes it way easier. Now, also another thing that may be annoying and why not a lot of people will enjoy Deathstalker in Mythic Plus is that to do your full damage, you actually have to use macros, like have a macro with Rupture, like I have somewhere, where you use it on your focus and you change focus, or use it on your mouse over without changing target, because with hand them down here, you want to keep hitting your marked target. And basically, if you don't do that, this is actually quite a little bit of damage that you lose. Now, another annoying thing with Deathstalker that you will learn to hate is you need full combo points with Darkest Night. What does this mean? This means that if you are not in Shadow Blades, those dances that you do outside of anything, or even when you are doing the normal single target rotation outside of dance, you will need to use 1 or maybe 2 finishers extra that you would not. Also, very important, in any situation that you have Darkest Night up, you want to use it. The rotation itself is not hard at all. I will do a video focusing on that one with those, remember, those 5 minutes thingies, and also with the opener, etc. The opener doesn't change anything. You're going to use 1 dance, then vanish in between, get some globals, and then go into another dance to get the second cold blood inside the flagellation, and there will be nothing more to talk about. Now, of course, I would like to talk about gear and everything, but I want to do a video after the raid actually releases, because embellishments and enchants are not, let's say, set in stone. Meanwhile, what you can do right now is just try Deathstalker a little bit for single target, and if there is any extra targets, you try Trickster for a little bit. The Trickster video will be a little bit later, likely next week or something like that, because that one has actually a lot of changes. So keep that in mind. I don't want to make this any longer. And of course, this weekend I will try to put the rotation things for Deathstalker. Now, have a nice day, and I will see you on the next video.